Hey folks, I hope you're all well and staying safe. Now, you may have heard that Onward has launched on the Oculus Quest, and it was a nightmare of a launch. When you look at the Steam page now, it has gone from very positive to mostly negative. So you may be wondering, what just happened, and is Onward worth getting now? Well, have no fear, WaqMan is here. We are going to go through what state Onward is in now, and whether it is still worth buying. You may be surprised with the answer, so just keep watching. And if you enjoyed the video, then please give it a thumbs up and share if you can, as it lets me know to make more of this type of content. Also, subscribe to the channel for everything VR related. Also remember, my special giveaway is still on for 2 of my subscribers, where I will be giving away 2 awesome games. The first is Creed Rise to Glory, and the second is a secret Oculus Quest game. To enter the giveaway, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, like the video, and let me know which game you would like to enter for. Also, I've started a Twitch streaming channel to get closer to the community, so if you can follow me there, that would be great. So let's get straight into it. Now, the first thing I want to mention is that I'm not going to go through everything that is on Onward, as I've already covered that in my review as well as my comparison video. The links are in the description if you haven't watched them, and majority of it is still relevant. What I'm going to go through here is what is different now from then, and whether Onward is still worth buying. So, everything changed on the 30th of July. Now that is a great day for the world since it's my birthday, but it wasn't a great day for the people that owned Onward on PC VR. Now I could have done a video immediately vilifying Downpour Interactive and just ripping apart what they ended up doing, as I was truly disappointed, but I decided to give them a chance to fix the problems. So, did they? Well, I'm going to take you on the journey with me to find out. Now, what I don't understand is, how is it possible that the developers did not know that this was going to happen? I'm sure it would have gone through a beta test and a lot of other rigorous tests, where the PC VR players would know straight away that it's going to be a massive problem. Or it could be that they did know it was going to happen, but they were focused on the money coming in from the Quest users, and what were the PC VR players actually going to do? They can't sell it or refund it. Screw the rules, I've got your money. But I'm going to give them benefit of the doubt, and say that they didn't know. So, what was it like when it launched on the Quest? Honestly speaking, if you had played Onward before the Quest launch and then played it after, it felt like your eyes were bleeding. It was so bad that I couldn't see anything on the darker maps. Not only that, they also added a new feature where the night vision goggles added a small circle around your screen. For realism, I guess, as it would show that you're wearing goggles and you wouldn't have full vision. However, that added with the disgusting graphics made it impossible for me to play. I couldn't see anything. The texture was terrible. The player characters looked like PS1 graphics, and the beautiful looking guns became toy guns in my hand. I was so disappointed, especially after I said how good the graphics were before. So, those were the visuals, but that wasn't the only thing that was wrong. Now, they also removed a lot of assets from the maps, so the Quest could handle it. Honestly, I felt ripped off, and it actually kind of felt like when your parents make you let your younger siblings play on the game consoles because they won't stop crying, which then ends up ruining it for you as they snap the disc. But okay, fair enough, they removed the assets. I guess I can live without them. But the ones they left were still awful to look at. However, that wasn't the only thing that the Quest version brought with it. It honestly feels like it was infected, because they brought a crap ton of bugs. Some that didn't make any sense. People zipping around like the Flash on steroids. People teleporting behind you and then killing you because obviously you don't know to look behind you in a closed garage. Not only that, when you kill a player, you can see them come back to life and see where the game is spawning them as it's moving them to the spot in front of you. That freaked me out a little when I first saw it, like zombies coming back to life. Finally, one more thing that got ruined which made me a little sad, and those were the modded maps. Unfortunately, the workshop is dead. None of the awesome maps that were designed can be used any longer, as they all need to be updated to this version of Onward. Although, I won't be surprised if the developers hold another competition for the best maps, to make the community make some more when the game is stable. But another casualty was some of their own maps, namely Jungle, Turbine, Snow Peak, Outlet and Abandoned, were abandoned and no longer available. Okay, so that's a lot of negative stuff that I just went through. However, this was when version 1.8 with the Quest port actually came out. And since then, Downpour Interactive have been hard at work to try and fix as much as they can. Now, why am I saying as much as they can? That's because they are now limited to a maximum ceiling of the Quest Snapdragon 835 chip. This in effect means that Onward cannot be as good visually as it was before coming onto the Quest. Now you may argue, well, the Quest 2 is coming out, so it should be able to get better, right? And for that, the only thing I will say is that until the support for the original Quest is removed, it will always be a bottleneck. Also, if you're enjoying the video so far, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Anyway, so let's fast forward to today. We are now on version 1.8.4 at the time of making this video. So I let it go through 4 patches before making this video to make sure I give them enough chance to fix the issues. So let's move on to the positives. The first positive I noticed immediately, even on version 1.8, was that the game loaded significantly faster than it did previously. Before, I had time to have my breakfast, hit the gym, go for a nap before it even loaded. I'm obviously exaggerating a little, but it did take a lot of time. But now it has sped up significantly. Although that's most likely due to the assets being removed and the lower graphical settings, but it's still a point to be noted. Okay, so the next thing I noticed as soon as I got into the game after patch 1.8.4 is that the visuals had a significant improvement. My eyes were no longer hurting. So I decided to jump into a few games to see if this was also reflected in-game. And honestly speaking, yes, it was much better. Now, that doesn't mean it was anywhere close to what it was like before, but at least my eyes were no longer bleeding. If I were to give a comparison between Pavlov Contract and Onwards, this time Onwards would still take last place, and even Pavlov now has much better graphics than Onwards in comparison. But the developers have managed to make it so you don't really notice the graphics downgrade anymore. You can play the game without really paying attention to them. So, what about the night vision goggles? Well, thankfully, it appears that the circle has gotten a lot bigger, actually allowing you to see your enemies, and the fact that the graphics are better makes them usable. I still prefer the old feature where it was just a green overlay, but I guess that's the price you pay for realism. Also, they kept the feature that allows you to see your breath in a cold map, which I always thought was cool, even though now it seems to virtually flog up my night vision goggles. Now onto the bugs. There are still some bugs I've seen with spawning issues, and I can still see people flying across the map when they're about to respawn, but that's generally only in gun game, and doesn't happen as often as it did before. So I'm going to go with that they have mostly fixed the issues, and the lingering ones are still getting looked at. Okay, so now one of the best things that the Quest launch has actually done is the effect it has had to the player count. It is now massive. Now I can't give you an exact figure since Oculus don't share their figures. However, what I can say is I needed to scroll pages to find a server that wasn't full, which is awesome. Before the Quest launch, there were still enough people playing, but I would have difficulty finding matches in Assault and Gun Game and other casual respawn modes, or sometimes even the other ones. However, now you can find players in any game mode you want. This is because Onward doesn't really have any competition when it comes to a PvP shooter on the Quest. It's the only one, meaning everyone will get it. Whilst preparing this video, Downpour Interactive actually came out with a devlog showing what the next improvements they're making, i.e. fixing what they broke. These are for version 1.8.6. The map Snow Peak and Turbine should be coming back. They're still working on the others though. Plus, they will be bringing back custom maps and a lot of graphical updates. The developers are also adding one more feature to try and make it up to the PC players, and that is the implementation of a new game mode, just for PC players. It doesn't say when this will be coming out, but it's nice of them to give something back to the PC VR community. So, I've rambled on for a bit now, and you might want to know what is it that I'm actually saying. Is Onward worth buying or not? Well, this is my opinion, but I think the hate Onward is getting is no longer warranted. Yes, before the patches came out, it was justified to pull out the pitchforks. However, now the developers have managed to put it into a position where the graphics are acceptable and the bugs are mostly gone. Plus, the positives that came out with it are faster loading times and a massive player count. Yes, that also includes a lot of kids, but what multiplayer game doesn't have kids on? I still miss the modded maps, but I'm optimistic that they will be coming back soon. So my overall conclusion is that Onward is actually still worth buying, and if you have not tried it since the Quest launch, then maybe give it another try. There may be other minor issues that I haven't mentioned, but that's probably because either I never experienced it or it wasn't even worth mentioning. But if the graphics are a big factor for you, then maybe think twice, as they can only go up to a certain point due to the limitation of the Quest. The gameplay is generally the same other than more kids equals less mature players, but it's not the same toxic crowd as Pavlov. Also, I'm just going to mention again that if you want to know how Onward is as a game, then check out the review and comparison videos. Other than the graphics, mods and large player count, everything else is generally the same. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Onward is worth buying now, or are you not going to forgive the developers for making you compromise without consent and changing the game forever? I for one am okay with trading what I lost to what I gained. Well, that's all folks. Here is my update for Onward VR on the PC. If you enjoyed the video, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and share the video with a friend. Remember, if you would like to enter the giveaway, make sure you're a subscriber, like the video and let me know which giveaway you would like to enter. I've also started a Twitch streaming channel to get closer to the community, so if you can follow me there, that would be great. Well, thanks for watching. Have a great day, stay safe, and see you next time.